Welcome to Brooker Ceramics, and we're on day 26 of learning how to throw on a potter's wheel. This week I've been inspired by this Starbucks thermos that I've got. What I quite liked is that it's quite tall and narrow, and it's very much weighted at the bottom, and I think it could be used to form a basic shape for a jug. So the idea is it's a handleless jug. You kind of hold it at the bottom and you can then pour what you need out from it. So I've made a little tester, as you can see here, and this is something that I'll try and replicate throughout this video. I haven't got it quite as tall and quite as narrow as I'd like, but during the firing and drying process, it will definitely shrink, probably to about 1/3 of this actual size. So it should become smaller and narrower over time. So stay tuned, watch to the end of the video, and I'll talk you through all the steps and my processes, as well as some of my thoughts of how I made this ceramic jug. So what I want to create is like a long cylinder form like this, with then a nice little jug spout at the top. I quite like how it feels in the hand, as well as how you're able to tip things and spill things out like that. So I'm looking to create a nice long cylinder form with a lip like that. Something like that. So that's roughly about 5 centimeters, and I'd say the height is probably 17 centimeters. I'm going to make this out of 750 grams of stonework clay. So let's weigh that out. So now that I've got around 750 grams of clay, what I'm going to do is go down to the wheel, attach the bat, and then begin throwing. So I'm going to ball this up so it's nice and easy to use in just a minute. And let's go head down to the potter's wheel and begin throwing. So for this, I'm going to be throwing a jug similar to this one that I've done. This is a test that I did earlier. I think what I'll try and do is create it a bit more thinner and a bit taller than this one, but this is where I'm kind of aiming for. So I've laid down some clay, and now I'm going to attach the bat to the wheel, and then I'm going to begin throwing. So first I'll cone and center the clay, opening it up, and then pinching the walls up and high. So let's zoom you in and take a look at that now. Now that I've got the clay nice and centered, you'll see when I turn the wheel on that my finger will run smoothly over it and it won't wobble. So let's look at that. As you can see, from the bottom to the top, my finger is nice and smooth, which means the ball of the clay is central and ready to open up. So for this bit, I'm going to stick my thumb down into the clay and pushing down into the body. I'm looking to leave about 1.5 centimeters thickness at the bottom to allow me to trim in a really small foot later. And then I'll pull the clay out sideways, roughly around 3 to 5 centimeters, and then I can begin pinching. So let's take a look at that. Now that I've thrown the initial shape, what I want to do is set it aside for 24 hours or 2 days to dry out a little hard. I want to make sure it dries out nice and slowly and so that the clay dries out evenly. Alright, so I'm going to take it off the wheel and set it aside, and then we'll come back in a few days and we'll begin trimming it up. So it's a few days later and the jug is nice and leather hard, so I can begin trimming it now on the pottery wheel. What I need to be careful of is, because of the delicate rim, that I can't place it directly onto the potter's wheel because it will warp the rim, or there's not enough surface area there to hold it in place and it will end up falling off. So between that video and this, I've created what we call a chuck, and this will allow me to place the vessel inside, and it will hold it in place as I trim it on the pottery wheel. So let's head over to the pottery wheel and begin trimming. So for this I'll need the following tools: some kind of sponge, a hook trimming tool, a flatter trimming tool, and then a more detailed trimming tool. Also, what will come in useful is the metal kidney, which will allow me to burnish some of the shapes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the chuck down to the wheel using some water, and then I'm going to place the mug on top. So now that I've got the vessel placed on top of the chuck and it's spinning relatively centrally, I'm going to pop this little spinner on the top and just use my index finger. It will allow me to press downward pressure onto the vessel, which will hold it nicely onto the chuck itself, and then I can come in and trim it up. And now finally, I just want to come in with a wet sponge and tidy up the lip here. So here's the final product. I kind of toyed over a few times whether I wanted to include a handle for pouring, but I actually quite like how it feels in the hand. It'll shrink considerably throughout the drying process, as well as the firing, so it'll probably be about a third smaller than this with the final thing. And it's quite nice and weighted at the bottom, which is really good for tipping and pouring. So I think I'll keep it as it is. What do you guys think? Do you think I should have attached a handle? If so, what kind of handle would you have put on? And would you have done anything slightly different that I've shown you in this video today, or would you have followed a similar process? So let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you for watching all the way through to the final video here. You're part of a super secret club that makes it to the end of my videos, so I want to celebrate you guys and thank you for making it this far. So don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one.